Hey guys! Hey! Happy April 1st, everybody! Happy April Fool's Day! Yes, happy April Fool's Day to everybody who's watching this video. Now, I'm going to be doing a top 10 on this, not top 10, sorry, a top 5 on the Magic School Bus. Yes, the Magic School Bus. And I want to clarify, this is not an April Fool's video. If it was, I wouldn't even have stated the holiday at the beginning. I don't really celebrate April Fool's Day, I don't celebrate it. I know a lot of people do, but I don't celebrate it. But, I do know that, people out there do celebrate it. But this will not be an April Fool's video. This is a real thing, a real top 5. I haven't done one of these in quite a while. I was gonna do something over Christmas break, and then I got busy. I was gonna do something in January, also busy. But I've been wanting to do a top 5 for a while. And the reason why I have not been doing one is not only I've been busy, like I said, but I've also been, not just busy with that stuff, but I've also been, having a hard time finding a top 5 or 10 to even do. Because sometimes I'll do top 10s too. But that's only because, I'm not wanting to do certain shows like SpongeBob and Family Guy and all that, because I want to do reviews of them down the road. So, and some of them I want to save for later too. So like Danny Phantom and all that. So, but yes, I want to do a top 5 for this show, because I love the Magic School Bus. This show is really good. It really is. It still holds up really well to this day. It, along with Blue's Clues and all that educational shows that still hold up to this day. But I've been wanting to do one of these for a while. But I haven't been able to, get to it, because I've been trying to watch episodes so I can do this list. And it's been really hard going through this, because I don't have access to the entire show. For some reason, Netflix only has one season. They have the reboot, but they don't have the entire original show, which I have no idea why. I don't even know where to go to watch it, so it might be on Peacock, but you might have to pay for it. I don't know where it's at. I don't even know who owns the Magic School Bus. I don't know who owns this show. I don't know who owns it, so, but I do know there is a complete series. As you guys can see, there is a complete series. I know, because I've looked it up, and you can actually get the complete series of the show, which is pretty cool. But I don't have it. I'm actually wanting to get it, because I want to do future, episode reviews and all that of this show, because this show is so amazing. But, like I said, I think I said this already, I don't know if I did or not, I will state, if I didn't, I will state this, that there's only 5 episodes on this list, and because there's so many good ones on here. That's how good this show is. But I do want to do other reviews, and I might even tackle some of these other episodes on this show that are on this list in the future if I have anything else to say. But yeah, and one more thing before I go, actually 2 more things. Remember to subscribe to my channel. You guys can also follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. And make sure you guys are your notification button is on, because that way you guys can be notified for my videos. And also, I will be going through this top 5 list, talking about my top 5 favorite episodes of this show. But because this is an educational show, I will also state some stuff that's outdated, because there are going to be probably some outdated stuff in this show, because this show came out in the 90s that people found either false or found more information on. And I've also talked about my own opinion, because some of this stuff people have different opinions on. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's go ahead and start our top 5. Number 5. Planted. I believe this episode is Get Planted. I already forgot the name of it. I think I'm gonna start probably just writing the names down, maybe on the top 5 and all. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm new at this stuff, so you guys know. But so I probably should have wrote them down because I don't know exactly what they're called. But I'll try to remember that next time. But I wanted to do something a little different for the top 10 and top 5 to make them stand out. But this episode, I think it's called Gets Planted, is what it's called. This episode here is about Phoebe, messing up a beanstalk, and she apparently tried to plant one, but it didn't get very tall. It didn't grow hardly at all. It's like an inch tall. That is because plants need water and all that, and she didn't know that. But this entire episode is about her becoming a plant, and they're trying to learn about plants and all that, teaching kids that and all that. I watched this episode in 2nd grade. I remember that, and it kind of blew my mind seeing Phoebe get turned into a plant. Oh, I want to point this out. Apparently, this is an episode this is actually the last one. No, wait, this isn't the last one. There's actually one more I watched today. Because these were split apart. I watched all this stuff on YouTube because most of these episodes I don't have access to. So I watched them on YouTube. But yeah, this episode though, this one is this was one of the last ones I watched, but I really like it. I do. I really like there's a lot of plant episodes on this show. There really is, but this one's probably my favorite. At least what I can remember. I have seen other ones. Like there's an episode where she's trying to hide the school from Mr. Seedplot and all that. Her old school, teacher and all that. I can't remember if he's a teacher or a principal. I think he was a teacher. But she's trying to hide him because she doesn't want to be embarrassed. Because Phoebe gets very embarrassed very easily and all that, and I don't blame her. If you have a teacher who's got a magic school bus and all that, it'd be kind of crazy. You don't want people freaking out. But this episode doesn't have that. This episode is more focusing on seeing the inside of the plants and all that, and I really like that. I really like us seeing inside the plants. We even see inside Phoebe, which as an adult is kind of weird. It's very weird. I don't know why, but just thinking about it is kind of weird, but it's still pretty nice and all that. But I actually forgot that apparently plants can make milk and sugar, which is pretty nice. I can't remember if they actually I don't think it was a milk, but I know they make sugar, and I don't know if you get sugar from plants. I don't know where you get sugar at, but that's pretty cool. I do like that. I know you can get syrup from maple trees. You tap the tree and you can get maple syrup, which is pretty cool. I never done it myself, but it's pretty cool. But I was gonna say too, though, I actually forgot to bring this up. I was getting ready to talk about it, and I talked about the other episodes. But Phoebe's face, there's actually when she gets turned into a plant, there's literally a face of her, like on Miss Frizzle's bus, which is kind of weird. Like it's kind of weird that that's the case and all that, but yeah, apparently there's there's that, and it's pretty interesting. But the whole episode is about them learning about plants because they want to grow a beanstalk because they want to grow a beanstalk and all that because they're in a play and all that, and they're doing the Jack and the Beanstalk thing, and it's pretty nice, and I like how they actually have her. She literally grows in the entire play. And the students aren't even questioning it. I don't know. Well, I do know that a lot of people in this in this show, unlike the reboot, actually know that the Magic School Bus is a thing. The reboot, they actually don't do that. which I think is kind of stupid, but, I don't know. I mean, I get they're trying to make it separate, but they don't even have Phoebe in the reboot, and I think a lot of people are pointing out, like Phoebe doesn't have much of a personality. She just talks about her old school all the time, but she does. She's very sweet, and she also gets very nervous. She's got a nervous personality, and I really like that. I like we get these episodes where we see Phoebe. I actually was going to include the one where they were in the desert, but I like this one a lot better. I like it a lot better, so I included this one. I was also going to include Weatherman or whatever that episode was, but that's not. Those two are not on the list, but they were going to be. But I just found better episodes. But I really like plants too. I think plants are really nice. They make your area stand out. They're really pretty, especially in the spring and fall. They're just really pretty. Like, I really like them. But yeah, they are really pretty trees, and I kind of not trees, plants. Sorry, pretty. They are really pretty, and there's trees. They got flowers and all that. It's really nice. Now, speaking of trees and all that, I wish there were blue maples and blue other plants. There's no blue plants they never turn blue. Some people say it's because of the way nature works and all that. That's why we don't see a lot of blue, but I don't know. I mean, there are blue flowers and all that. And I mean, if you want to be typical, I mean, some of the I think the bushes and trees and bushes and all that. I don't know. Are bushes trees? I don't know if they are or not, but bushes can actually get blue sometimes. So they won't get blue blue from Blue's Clues or something, but they will get blue. They'll turn an aqua blue color looking, kind of like, the ocean and all that on TV and all that, but I don't know, but because in real life the oceans actually looks a little bit different, but it's still pretty, in cartoons and all they make them look different. But yeah, I don't know, but like I said, this episode is really good. I really like this episode, I really do, and I like how we get to see inside plants and all that, and I mean, yeah, they do this in other episodes too, but this one I definitely think is the best. But I don't know. But I'm probably gonna go ahead and move on to the next episode though, because I really don't have a whole lot else to say here. Because I feel like I don't think anything's really changed about this episode. Because people have already know a lot about plants, but we're going to get to some stuff people are split on or change their minds on as time goes on. Anywho, let's go ahead and move on to number 4. Number 4 is Out of This World. That's the name of this episode. Because it literally takes place out of this world. It takes place out of this world. It goes into space and all that, and so this episode apparently is about Miss Frizzle and the class going to outer space and stopping an asteroid from hitting the planet, because it's going to destroy the school. But it's going to destroy the school. So Miss Frizzle and the class go to outer space to stop this asteroid and all that. What's really odd, I want to point this out, what's really odd about this episode, though, is the fact that, one, Dorothy looks through she has a dream, and she looks through after she wakes up from her dream, because she has a nightmare and all that, she looks through the telescope, and it looks like the moon and all that. I don't know why, but it just gives me goosebumps, looking like wow, that thing's freaking huge. But it does look like the moon, but when they actually get to the asteroid, it looks like an actual asteroid, so I'm not really sure why that's the case, but Miss Frizzle and them go to outer space, and apparently they reference Star Trek. Well, Star Trek and Star Wars. They reference both, which is really odd. But yes, they literally reference both. They literally Miss Frizzle has Princess Leia's hairstyle. She's got that. I mean, Princess Leia's hairstyle changes throughout the trilogy, the original trilogy, because she's not really in the prequels because she wasn't born yet, but yeah, but she was in the sequel and all that too, but they kind of just used her, they used her head, they posted her head, I think, on someone else's body, because sadly Carrie Fisher passed away and all that, but they basically, they did, she did have the hairstyle that they have in this episode and all, which is pretty cool. I really like that. And I want to clarify that this came out before the prequels and all that came out too. This came out a long time ago. The prequels weren't even out yet. I don't know. They may have been announced. I don't know. But back in the day, I don't know when they started announcing that stuff. But the first prequel movie of Star Wars didn't come out until 1999. This episode, I don't know when it came out, but it came out a little while ago. Actually, I thought about putting the stuff on the dates on here, but I was like, I don't know if I want to fiddle with it, because here's the thing, and this is something that actually annoys me about looking this stuff up. I've had this problem with looking up the Halloween episode of What's New Scooby-Doo and all that. It's like the dates don't show up. I don't know why. I'm like, isn't Google supposed to know all that? So I didn't want to fiddle with that, but yeah, I don't know. I just didn't want to fiddle with it. I probably should have, but I didn't want to fiddle with dealing with that. I don't want the dates to be wrong or something, So I don't know. I think I probably should have, but next time I'll do that. Next time if I do a top 5 on a show or movie or something, I'll do that. But yeah, I'm sorry there's no dates. That's kind of why I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to fiddle with it and get the dates wrong and all that, but I really should have just done that. But anywho though, but the thing is though, yeah, they reference that. It's mostly referencing Star Trek though, because basically the school bus transforms into a Star Trek, ship, and then they also have Liz dressed up as a captain. I forgot his name. I don't remember his name. Captain Falcon, I think is his name. Or no, it wasn't Falcon. I don't remember his name. I don't think it was Captain Falcon. Oh, it was Spock. Spock, that's who it was. Sorry, I'm not very familiar with Star Trek. I did watch the second movie. My dad and I watched the second movie together, but I don't really know the series that well. It was kind of slow, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know, but the movie wasn't, awful, but it definitely felt very slow, but I don't know, but that's a story for another time, maybe I'll review the Star Trek movies down the road, I don't know, but yeah, they do have a lot of that stuff. I don't know if there was any other references, because like I said, I don't know much about Star Trek, but I do know the hairstyle and all that. It's pretty interesting. But, yeah, I don't know, it's really a nice episode. I really do like it. The reason why it's so low on the list, though, is because it's not that as fancy, but I do like them going to space. And trust me, there'll be other episodes on this list, too, that'll be taking place in space. But this is probably my least favorite out of the 3, but it's still really good. I just don't think it's as good. It's not as interesting, They just spend the episode trying to hunt down an asteroid, and and thank goodness Miss Frizzle's there, because they take it out, they throw it in the sun, and everyone's saved. Too bad the dinosaurs didn't get that luck. Oh well, I'm sure at least they're resting in peace, But yeah, I don't know. I get really stuck that the dinosaurs all died and all that, but I don't know, but yeah, basically though, it is a pretty nice episode, and I want to say too, they also reference in this episode they reference the first episode of this show of Janet bringing back an asteroid and all that, but mentioning this one's much bigger and all that, which is pretty interesting. I like that. I like that reference, it's pretty nice, but yeah, it's pretty nice. I do think this episode's really good and all that, but But there's actually even better ones on this list. So let's go ahead and move on to the next episode, which is number 3. Speaking of space and the first episode, we're now going to talk about the very first episode of Magic School Bus, Lost in Space. This one was really hard to place. This episode right here was really, really hard to place on this list. I thought about putting it at number 2 or number 1, but the reason why it's at number 3 is because it's at number 3 because it's basically... Well, one thing I do not like about this episode is Janet. Janet is very kind of... She's stubborn and kind of annoying, like... Now, I don't think she's an awful character. I don't think she's awful, but... She's really annoying in this episode because not probably because they focus on her all the time, but I mean to be fair though, I mean even in the other episodes when she's on screen, she's a snob, but she's not like as bad. Here she just spends the entire episode trying to push. She's pushing Arnold around, treating him like crap, and having him gather all this crap from all these planets, and all that, and because she wants for her own gain, because she wants proof. She wants proof and all that. And the thing is, though, is Arnold, ends up taking his helmet off on Pluto, and freezes his head and all that, and she does feel bad for him, and all that, and they do rush back because she's worried about her cousin, but I just find her really annoying in this episode, but that may be just me. But I think they go a little bit too far for. Also, it's kind of weird how they introduce her as a character like in the very first episode. She's basically a guest. Yeah, I would think it's just kind of weird. I don't know why. It's just weird the way they do it. I brought this up when I was reviewing the Magic School Bus, the whole show as a whole. And I just felt that was kind of weird how it's the very first episode and they're introducing a character, but it's not an actual classmate that's joining the school. It's actually just a random person and all that. That's just kind of weird. But I don't know. But the thing is though, I really do like how we get to see all the planets, including Pluto, which I'm gonna go ahead and state this. Now I'm going to take a break right now and talk about this controversial thing going on with this planet thing. Now this is the first time, this will not be the last time I talk about this, but this is kind of something I don't agree with, but the scientists, I guess, don't classify Pluto as a planet because it's, again, this is my own opinion, but I still don't agree with all this stuff, but basically, they don't classify Pluto as a planet because it doesn't have all 3 things that make up a planet, which I'm really confused about. Because number 1, people seem to be be very split on what why it's not classified as a planet. I've heard some people say it doesn't complete the orbit like other planets do of the sun. I hear some people saying it's too small. I have some people saying it doesn't have an atmosphere, and I'm like, okay, but I mean, and I even point that out in the comments. I'm not even trying to be rude. I just point that out, and then it does have an atmosphere. Because it's an object. It has a moon. Yes, it has a moon called Charon. And then it has looks like it has, it's got red and all that. Like, it's not a moon itself. It's actually got its own moon. Honestly, that'd be kind of weird though. It's small, but they still call it a dwarf planet. But somehow it doesn't classify as a planet, which I don't get. I don't get that. Like, why is it still not a dwarf? Why is it still not a planet? And I guarantee that that if you go outside the solar system and all, they'd probably find some objects out there that are smaller than Pluto, and somehow they're still planets. I don't know, I just think the whole thing is freaking confusing and all that. Heck, some of the other objects in the Kuiper Belt could probably be a planet too. There can't be any dwarf planets. We got gas giants, we got rocky planets. There can't be any dwarf planets. But I feel like, I don't know, it's just the whole thing just feels very confusing, and I don't get it. I don't get what people are comparing it to, because I'm like, and yeah, it doesn't orbit the sun the same way, but it actually orbits it more in an oval shape, while the others circle it around like an actual circle, which is kind of weird, actually. But Pluto apparently it'll get closer to the sun than Neptune, which apparently they now have discovered that apparently Neptune doesn't even it's not as blue as it was. But, which, I don't know, it's kind of weird too how it took them that long. But, I don't know, it's a minor nitpick on that. But it's Pluto more, so I don't really get the argument about it. Pluto is Pluto, it's, I shouldn't really care, about that, but I don't know, I just think it makes things more confusing, especially if you're teaching stuff at school and all that, and heck, the reboot doesn't freaking have Pluto on it because it's not classified as a planet, but I'm like, why can't it be a planet, I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but, I don't know, but, like I said, there could be dwarf planets, too, because, like I said, gas giants, not planets, because they got gas, I really don't get it. But, yeah, I'm gonna say it'll always be a planet to me. I don't really get why people are trying to compare it to other stuff, and the stuff they're comparing doesn't make any sense at all. Like I said, it's called a dwarf planet, and they're saying it's not a planet, but they refer it to as a dwarf planet. So I'm like, isn't that basically still a planet? It has the word planet in it. I don't know. I know people are I've been reading up on things. I think people are trying to make Pluto a planet again. I think they're actually trying to make the whole Kuiper Belt a planet. They can make it. The thing is, though, you can argue too about the asteroid belt. Which, speaking of which, they actually do go through the asteroid belt in this episode, which is pretty nice. But the asteroid belt, it's just a bunch of space objects. They're just rocks and all that. They're giant rocks. They're not round or anything. They're just rocks. But with Pluto and all that, it's actually a planet and all that. So again, I don't really get all that, but I don't know, they could still probably make it a Kuiper Belt too, and all that, but I don't know. I think I'm probably gonna stop talking about this though. This is kind of confusing, and more talk about the episode. But yeah, I just wanted to share my nitpick and all that with people, and people who are watching this. If you guys disagree with me, that's fine too. But I just don't get why. I've even commented on people's opinions on this in the comments on these videos. I'm just like, okay, but what your argument doesn't make much sense and all that. But hey, I don't know. I don't make the rules. I'm not NASA, so I don't make the rules. But anywho, I want to say to this episode I will say, not only it's nice we get to see all the planets and all that, but I will say it is nice that I do like how they're animated too in this show. This episode actually makes me miss 2D animation, and mostly hand-drawn animation. I do miss all of that. This show is really well animated. I haven't brought that up, or maybe I brought it up in my review, I don't know, but especially in this episode, the planets they look really nice. They look really nice, and I really like them. I kind of wish, we could see more animation like that. I don't know what kind of animation they actually even use for the planets and all that, but it looks really nice. It does. I'm guessing maybe because they're not CGI, they're actually animated. Maybe that's why they look different. But a lot of other shows that use 2D animation and all that don't really have this, so I don't really know. But yeah, this is definitely they definitely look really nice. especially since this came out, before they had, well-known computers and all that. But I don't know. But I do really like the animation, and it's really nice and all that. But trying to think what else to point out. There really isn't a lot else to it. I guess I can say I do like the planets, like them being on the planets and all that too. They look pretty nice. I kind of wish we could have seen a closer up of Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. But we see a close up of Jupiter, which it looks really pretty, but we don't see the other gas giants. But again, it's not like a big deal. But I would have loved to see more animation. But it's still nice. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's still really nice looking. I really do like it. But yeah, it's just a really, like, I don't know, this episode's still really good. Despite Janet doesn't really take the episode away that much. Because again, she does learn her lesson. She learns her lesson in this episode. She learns her lesson, and she becomes she apologizes to well, she thanks Arlo, unless she apologizes to him. She thanks him, and all that, for helping her see her ways and all that. But in the fact that she doesn't have to prove anything to her classmates, because, who cares what people think, But, because, I mean, again, some people might not believe certain stuff, but, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world, So, yeah, this episode's definitely really good. I definitely do really like it, and I don't have much else to say about it, but it would have been number one if it weren't for Janet, but Janet kind of ruined it a little bit, but like I say, it's still a really good episode, and I really like it. Although, I will point this out, too, real quick. I will say that Arnold freezing his head, and it being the first episode of the show, might be taking things a little too far for little kids. It might make them... I mean, it's not like kids are going to go to outer space, but... At least not right now, but I mean, in 1,000 years or so, when we actually can go to outer space, that might freak kids out a little bit, but... And who cares, right? It's 1,000 years from now. I mean, technology's still growing. We haven't even made it to Mars yet, so I hear they're working on it. I mean, we have footage of Mars, but no one's actually been to Mars. So I don't know, but anywho, though, I'm gonna go ahead and go on to the next episode now. So let's go on to number 2. So we go from two space episodes to now a dinosaur episode. Yes, a dinosaur episode. Boy, I love this episode. I really do like it. This episode's actually really nice. Like, I like how we see the Magic School Bus go back in time. Like, they go back in time. I think this is the only episode in this series where they actually go back in time, which kind of stinks. I would have loved for them to be able to go back in time, But I would have loved for them to be able to go back in time, more often in this show. Sadly, this show only lasted like 4 seasons. It still had a lot of episodes to it. It still. I actually had a hard time figuring out what else they could really do with this show, but with time traveling, though, I can see them doing a whole lot more with it. I mean, they do a time traveling episode where they show off like the past of Arnold's rock and all that, trying to figure out, I think, what kind of or not rocket, or actually I think it was a rock. But they really don't do a whole lot with it. Speaking of Arnold's rock, apparently, somehow when they go back in time, Arnold's rock unforms into an egg, even though the classmates don't. They're still there and all that. So I really don't think that makes much sense to me. That doesn't make much sense to me and all that. But it does create an interesting plot where Phoebe and Arnold are going to chase this dinosaur while Carlson and the other classmates and Miss Frizzle are trying to investigate dinosaurs and figure out their behavior and all that. Because Carlos, he thinks the dinosaurs are meat-eating beasts, which some of them are, but a lot of them are plant eaters, which is pretty interesting and all that, and it's pretty interesting, and but yeah, like I said, I do think that the whole egg thing, I mean, even though it does create a nice plot, which I'm not going to argue there, but I still think, it maybe would have been better if maybe it was another egg that got stolen or something. We don't even know what kind of dinosaur it was. We just kind of, they never reveal it. They just kind of, I guess, make you guess or something. I don't know, but yeah, good thing it didn't, actually fall. I mean, it didn't actually, turn into a, an actual, it didn't hatch or anything, but yeah, the fact is that the dinosaur took off of it and all that's pretty interesting, and apparently wake up a T-Rex, and a T-Rex comes and chases them and all that, pretty interesting stuff. And, I'm not gonna lie, seeing Arnold, grow ginormous, they don't even show the animation, they don't show the animation at all. I don't know why they don't do that, I feel like that's kind of weird, they don't show his animation of him growing. Because a few episodes ago, we see Phoebe. Phoebe grows, turns into a beanstalk. And actually, we do see her grow, too. So I don't know why they don't show that. That'd have been kind of cool. But I guess it's not that big of a deal. Because we see characters grow all the time. But still, seeing Arnold scare off the T-Rex and all that, like Scrappy-Doo style. Yeah, he was doing Scrappy-Doo style. He putting his fist up saying, let me have him, all that stuff. It's pretty funny, I do like that. But yeah, I'm gonna say though, apparently while looking this episode, looking for images for this episode, I found out apparently the book for this episode, yeah, Magic School Bus has a bunch of books. It's freaking dark. Apparently they actually, so I'm thinking it's still a kid's show, but they actually show blood. They show dinosaurs. They show them actually get eaten. They get eaten and all that, and there's blood coming out of them too. That's freaking messed up. I can totally see why they didn't do this. They didn't do this, for the cartoon show and all that, because they didn't want little kids getting scared of this. Because this show is meant for little kids. It's meant for little kids. Well, there's topics here that technically elementary school kids can watch for too, but a lot of little kids will probably watch this show too. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting there, but yeah, it's scary and interesting, but yeah, I don't know, it's kind of, and apparently at the end of the episode too, we get the producer stuff and all that, which I didn't state in the last episode. Which is Lost in Space that I talked about. That apparently, also, I like how, these kids and all that just pointing out all the show's flaws and all that. Which, supposed to make it funny. They don't even point that out in this episode. They don't even point that out, how a kid asked that question and all that, which, it doesn't make it really funny. Here's the thing, though, in certain ways, I feel like, characters breaking the fourth wall in cartoons and all that, and talking about that stuff is kind of, and, pointing out the flaws of an episode or a movie or something can be kind of funny, but it also can be annoying depending on what it is, or very confusing. But they don't even do that at all here. They don't do that at all, but I do like how, apparently there's this, we have a guest here and all that, the doctor, I forgot what her name was, Dr. something, she looks a lot like Miss Frizzle, but I can't remember if she's actually related to Miss Frizzle or not, but I don't remember them hearing anything about that, but I do like how I do like how she's at the end of the episode and all, answering the kids' questions and all that, and I do like how Liz also digs up a page too, so it makes me wonder if all this stuff that happens in the show is actually real. Because if you watch the episode, she doesn't even find out or not. if it's real or not. So, because I'm wondering if that's a hint that because she was hiding, because Liz, she was hiding the map. The eating chart of the dinosaurs in the ground that was actually shown in the episode, and she has a look on her face. So I'm not really sure if that's true or not, but it's pretty interesting, pretty interesting a theory to think about. I know there's like theories on like if Miss Frizzle is actually a villain or not. It's theories about that, but speaking of Miss Frizzle, that's another reason why this episode's kind of also in second place because. It's actually, I don't think it hurts the episode that much, but when the kids are getting eaten by a T-Rex, Miss Frizzle is kind of just joking around and all that, and joking around and all that about like maybe we'll see what a digestive system's like and all that, which. And the kids are like freaking all pissed off at her and all that. It's funny, but at the same, like how they're all pissed off at her, but at the same time, I'm like this is freaking your students here and all that. Like, I hope you'd be worried about them getting freaking eaten by a damn dinosaur. With some of this stuff, like fish and all that, they can be swallowed and not, because there are episodes where they get eaten and all that, and they get swallowed by a fish or something, but with this episode, though, I'm like, this is a freaking dinosaur, and I'm going to clarify, T-Rexes have sharp teeth. They have sharp teeth, and they can literally chew you up. So, I'm just like, I don't know, I guess a little bit of a nitpick there, but I don't know, I definitely don't think it takes away the episode at all. It just kind of just makes me like frustrated with Miss Frizzle in that moment, but otherwise, it's not that bad. She does this a lot, but usually it's a plot reason. She usually knows what's gonna happen, but with this case, I think it's just taking her character a little too far, but I don't know. But I was gonna say too, I do like how the dinosaurs and all that have their own noises. Like, they really have nice noises. Like, I really like the noises they gave the dinosaurs. We really don't know anything about what dinosaurs sounded like, even to this day. They pointed that out at the end of the episode with the producer stuff and all that, or I guess a post scenes, or I don't know what you'd call them. I just call them producer scenes, because, and all that, but we really don't know what they sounded like. Because people are trying to bring back woolly mammoths and all that, but with dinosaurs is going to be impossible because they don't have any organs. Unless we find some that are maybe frozen or something, it's pretty much going to be impossible. Because dinosaurs have been, dead for so long, they're nothing but bones. We know some stuff about dinosaurs, but we don't know a bunch about them. But apparently, what we do know is that, at least what I've heard is that, I think it was the Triceratops or it was the T-Rexes that were like the last of the dinosaurs to die. And that's because, T-Rexes, were actually a lot smaller. They were a lot they were a lot bigger. So when they didn't have as much food, they probably starved to death. But it just makes me want to know exactly what happened to the dinosaurs, Because apparently they didn't all die out at once. So, it's really interesting. Well, it may have killed maybe what happened is it could have killed their plant supplies or something, I don't know. Because there was a meteor that hit the earth and all that, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that survived after the dinosaurs were wiped out. Alligators. We have alligators and crocodiles that were around that time. And I'm going to clarify, they both look very identical to today's alligators and crocodiles. So I don't know the whole meteor thing. I don't know if that was exactly what killed them or not, but it probably killed out a bunch of them, but I don't think it, because there's even trees from that time period that are still alive too. You can find them mostly on beaches and all that. So, I don't know exactly what happened there. But, again, we don't really know, because again, they died out 67 million years ago. I thought it was 66 million years ago, and now they're saying 67. I don't know. It has been a few years too but still, I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of weird. But yeah, I don't know. That's the thing though. It's really hard to say what exactly what exactly, happened to the dinosaurs. But yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't say the probably meteor completely killed them out, but I don't know, who knows. But this episode's definitely still really good. I still really like it and all that, I think I'm gonna probably end up moving on to number one because I really don't have a lot else to say about this episode. But it's a really good episode. Now let's go ahead and do number one. All right, the last episode on my numbered list is Magic School Bus Sees the Stars. I actually forgot the name of the other episode. It's something to do with dinosaurs. If you guys look up the name, you guys can find it. I forgot the name of that. That's why I need to probably write the names down or something. But I'll start learning to do that. But anywho, this is See the Stars. I do know this one. This episode, unlike the other ones, this one's definitely my favorite. I really like this episode. Although I think the plot with Lost in Space was with the seeing all the planets was a lot better. I don't like because we get to see all the planets and all that in the episode. That episode has problems. So this episode may not have as good of a premise with the last episode, with the space one, but this one's still really good. It's really heartwarming because what happens is apparently DA, aka Dorothy, she gets sick and has to stay home and all that. She gets sick and stays home, and the class apparently have a project for her, but Tim accidentally breaks it. So they go to outer space to look for an actual star because they apparently can buy one on the supermarket. I like how they can just do that. That's so random. But they go to see the stars and all that, and I really like it. I really like how we see a baby star. Well, we actually see 4 stars. You may be thinking we see 3, but we'll actually take that. But we see 5 stars. We see a not born star yet, which is the magic school bus gets almost get sucked into it, and then they actually see another star, which is a baby star. Then we see a middle-aged star, and then we see an old star, which apparently blows up and all that, which I'm going to clarify, in real life, a lot of times if stars blow up, they'll turn into black holes. Not always, but we don't even know much about black holes ourselves. We don't know much about them. Heck, that's one thing I don't even know much about, but some people are saying that they think they can. They're saying that they believe that that the stars and all that can basically turn into they can turn into the stars can turn into they can turn into black holes and all that, and that there's time travel. I mean, some people think there's time traveling or something, or if you get close to it, it'll slow on time with you. I don't know, but it's pretty interesting. Some people think you can't escape from a black hole too, which is pretty interesting. So I don't know much about black holes. I don't even have an opinion on them, unlike the meteor thing with the dinosaurs and all that. But I do like how they also create a new sun too and all that. So it's pretty interesting. We get a lot of that stuff. And I really like how this random guy on this talk show just freaking scamps the kids, and they freaking call him out on the phone. It's pretty funny. Somehow, even though DA got sick, they still go visit her anyway. So hopefully they don't get sick too. But I don't know. But I know some kids also take off school for their birthdays, but I do know that I do know that they stated she was sick in this episode, so maybe she got better and they went to see her. I don't know. But it's pretty interesting. I do like it, and but I really like this how the stars are animated. The stars are animated really nice too. But they're really animated nice. But one thing I want to point out with stars, I will say this: in the past people have stated that the universe was created all at once. But they actually found a star that's older than the universe, and there's also stars out there that are actually way older than our own sun, which is also a star, which is pretty interesting. And our sun apparently, actually has like seven. Like, I think it actually has about it's 4.56 billion years old or something. It has a few more billion years to go, so it'll be around for a long time as well. They do say that sometimes even after a star goes out, it won't always completely go out. So it's pretty interesting. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on in this episode, and I really like it. I really do like it, and I really like how the class is trying to give DA a present for her birthday and all that, and I like how it takes place in space. I said I like space. I told you guys there was going to be a few space episodes on this list, and there's going to be more than just that one, and there is. But, yeah, this episode is definitely really good. I really like it. And I would like for any of you guys to check out these episodes. But anywho, though, I think I am about ready to let things go from here, though. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this, these top 5. Yes, this is actually really fun to make. I really like this. I don't make top 10s that much, or top 5s as this video is, but I do really like making them. And I want to make some more down the road. Sorry if they're not coming as often. I've been very busy with stuff. But I do plan on making some more down the road. But, yeah, anywho, guys, as I stated at the video, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and, are subscribed to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya!